Trick or treat? A group of kids knocked on my door, yelling on the top of their lungs. Halloween is my favorite celebration of the year. My costume this year is a witch, and my best friend sitting on my sofa decided to be Sailor Moon. We opened the door and the kids hurried to grab the candy. With happy little feet, they run back to the street and disappear into the dark. The night slowly came closer. A thick fog surrounded our small town. It was so thick you could not see anything. My friend stood up and challenged me to go with her into the thick fog and go to the forest. I loved to go out in the woods at dark, so we dressed up. We knew the streets and walked with confidence, laughing together. The fog made us see small shadow shapes of the town. Entering the forest with happy smiles and excitement. The fog was so thick, we were falling on tree roots and sticks on the ground. Our laughter was echoing. An owl was heard deeper in, making the forest feel more scary. We walked into a big field and we realized we were lost. We walked for hours until we could see small lights in the fog. Finally, shelter. Suddenly, we heard a creepy sound. I took my friend's hand and squeezed it. I started to talk calmly to my friend that seemed to breathe heavy like she had a panic attack. A loud bang was heard. In shock, I dropped my friend's hand and froze in spot. When I could move, I grabbed her hand again and started running. The small lights was the only place I felt a feeling of safety. So my foot ran with my friend behind me. The light became brighter and an old barn was seen in the fog. Footstep was coming closer. It was like something was behind us. I grabbed the hand harder and started running. The barn door was locked. With my back against the barn, I noticed small lights were surrounding me with torches. A group of farmers appeared from the fog. They were all dressed like they lived in the medieval era. I hugged the hand even harder, looking at my friend, but to my shock, it was not my friend. I was holding a farmer man's hand. His creepy smile was all over his face. His damaged teeth made him look creepy. "Where is my friend?" I yelled at him. "What friend?" he whispered. I let go of his hand and started running, but the farmers grabbed me. Screaming for help was all I could think of. Their hands were cold and it made my body shiver. They started to sing along as they forced me into the barn. Kicking and screaming didn't help. Their empty eyes stared me down, making me feel a chill running down my spine. They left me on the floor and formed a circle around me. The singing was so loud now, a song so creepy that I crawled into a little ball on the floor, closing my eyes. My body started shaking of fear, but suddenly the song turned to a creepy silence. Slowly I opened my eyes, seeing all the farmers looking at me. They had their face right in front of me. They smelled awful. Suddenly, a woman started to scream, and as she did, a thick smoke came out of her mouth. I started coughing, and then suddenly everything turned black. I am not sure how long I was gone. When my eyes opened, it was light outside. I could hear children laughter and adults talk. I stood up on my shaking legs and peeked out. The small town celebrated Halloween with a masquerade party. I slowly walked out. They all looked normal and nothing was out of the ordinary. I begged the people to help me to find my way back. Their language was old and we could not understand each other. I was lost and these people could not help me. The forest looked inviting and I decided to walk home. But when I came closer to the forest, it all turned dark, like it took an entire day to reach the forest. Behind me was all the farmers and villagers staring at me. They all pointed back to their town. No, I refused to go back there. My legs reacted and I started running. Angry screams were heard behind me. I slipped on sticking stones as I ran past the trees. When I heard my foot touching the street again, I looked behind me. Slowly the farmers backed off and disappeared into the thick fog. At home, I saw my friend looking at one of my photos. Her eyes were shining from the tears falling down her cheek. I laid my hand on her shoulder. She looked up like she could not see me. Before I could react, I was in the forest surrounded by farmers again. A dark, strong force grabbed my body, dragging me into pitch black darkness. Let me go! I woke up in my warm bed, confused and terrified. A woman with the calmest voice I've ever heard told me she'd find me outside having hypothermia. Both me and Anna got lost in the woods because of the fog. We were saved by a couple of hunters on the way home. When we both were feeling a little bit better, they drove us to the hospital. Did I almost die in the forest that night? Anna did not remember farmers or a barn. She remembered me falling apart on the floor, telling her I saw a light in the distance. Anna didn't see any light. She tried to move me, but I was knocked out. She had to alone fight for our lives back there. When the fog lifted, me and Anna walked back to the field with the hunters. And believe me or not, but there it was. A barn and an old small town in the distance. Did I really dream it all? This story is completely written by me and it's just a tale. If you like the story, please let me know in the comments and I will do more. Have a good day.